All right, so yes, um, yeah, we just had OBS is just giving me issues, unfortunately. Um, just had some issues with, I think the bitrate was a bit too high or something. I don't know, but we're good now. But yeah, we can kick on. So as you can tell from the stream title, we have a very special guest with us today. Um, British YouTuber and streamer, one of the best known tech and content creators on the planet. He recently finished top 8 in the EU West Tech and Online Challenge as well. It is man like KingJae. What's good, man? How you doing?
How you doing, man? I'm happy to be on there, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. First thing before we get into this interview, I know you recently became a father. Not too
Yeah,
long ago. I think maybe about a month or so ago. So how's that been so far for you?
it's definitely a challenge to try and be it. So I've been going gym, content creator, and dad now, and doing all three, bro. It's so hard. It's so hard. So literally, yeah, it's been a challenge, man. It's been a challenge.
Hey, hopefully everything's going well. Hopefully the entire family is good and everything.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, thank you, man. Yeah, yeah. No, they're doing good, man. They're doing good. Thank you.
All right. So moving on swiftly. As far as I've observed, you're not only an avid Tekken player. Like you're an avid player of multiple fighting games. I've seen you're fairly proficient at Street Fighter and MK as well. So
Mm.
where did this love for fighting games come from? Like, what was your first experience with them? And I'd also be interested to know like how you got into Tekken in particular. But what was your first experience with fighting games? Where did this love for fighting games come from?
My love for fighting games come from obviously watching martial arts kung fu movies from back in the
Yeah,
day when I was young.
yeah.
Dad, my dad watches. My dad used to watch them, so I used to watch him. I used to watch these films with him, and I just like the way how they just do certain things and stuff like that. So I wanted to be able to control those characters, like be able to control characters and kind of emulate it. And Tekken was the closest thing to that.
Mm,
I never had a Sega Saturn or anything else like that. I had a PlayStation, so
yeah.
when I saw Tekken and I see Law was the closest thing to Bruce Lee.
Mm.
So that's when I started playing Law in like Tekken 1, 2, 3. Like I was a real fan of Law. I played Law until Tekken 5, and then I played Ganryu. Um,
You picked him
so
up
the
in
same,
Tekken 5 as well, Ganryu.
yeah, I picked Ganryu up in Tekken 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I obviously when I saw him in Tekken, the rest of Tekken, I wasn't really interested. So he was Tekken 1 and 2 before 5, and I wasn't interested. But I don't know. I just felt like I wanted a character that no one really plays, like a sumo wrestler. It's like it's
Mm.
quite uncommon in most fighting games, even Virtual Fighter. Um, so the same thing with Street Fighter as well. Street Fighter, I know it has fireballs and stuff like that, but it's still fighting. So still being able to control characters. King of Fighters, I love because I feel
Oh,
like
really?
the yeah, I'm not I admit I'm not like the best or anything like that, but I appreciate the music. I appreciate the characters. I appreciate a lot of things when it comes to like King of Fighters. So and I'm real like deep rooted in SNK. So like I know about Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, you know what is it, Kizuna Encounter, all of those games that are back on SNK. I know all about them because I really have been involved in fighting games quite a bit.
Mm.
So yeah, that's my
So
background,
like
and that's why.
from that angle of being in love with like martial arts movies and stuff like that, that like the because a lot of people recognize Tekken as like one of the more quote unquote realistic fighting games. So
Hmm.
like I guess you talked about Law being a closer thing to Bruce Lee. Like obviously for some other people, like having Lei and Jackie Chan and stuff like that, that must have been a really big thing. Whereas like um, a lot of other fighting games are more fantastical, like the fireballs and all these special moves. So that's actually quite interesting. Um,
Yeah.
Today, most people in the Tekken community and even the wider FGC recognize you as like a top consistent content creator who's helped to get more people into fighting games, especially Tekken. So did you have your own KingJae when you were coming up? What was it, or who was it that got you like deeper into fighting games, or and wanting to play them at a competitive level?
Uh, I, I would like to say. I kind of just found I found the online tournament at 2008.
Mm.
That's how I first like kind of discovered like fighting games. Like, I understood fighting games and stuff like 'cause I used to play with friends, you know. And when we play with friends, no one really knows the combo. No one really knows any of these things. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, when I'm going into tournaments and I'm seeing, oh, this is what's going on in tournaments, I'm like, yo, this is actually quite, this is quite good, and that's what forced me to get better. Like just going casuals, stuff like that, and yeah, that's what forced me to get better.
Just hold on one sec. It got a bit choppy for me there. I don't know if the region on Discord is alright. Um, it's
Okay.
so annoying when you have all these problems.
I've got my one says my region says Singapore though. So do you want to change? Do you want to change it to something else? Like South Africa might be
I
better.
think that would be better. Yeah. I think that would be better. Yeah. The region. I think the region was causing a few problems. Yeah. That should be better.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah,
So. You of course also a competitor, as I mentioned earlier. You've competed in a number of tournaments through the years.
yeah.
Um. So, what was your first tournament experience like? Who told you about it? Like, how well did you perform? Um, what was the overall experience like meeting other members of the community for the first time? Because I feel like when sort of new players want to get into fighting games, it's kind of intimidating for them. So like it's whenever I have someone on, I like to kind of ask them what their first experience was like, uh, just to just to sort of get an idea of that. So what was yours like? How was your first tournament and how well did you do?
I would say my first one was Battle of Destiny.
Mm,
Battle of Destiny was my first tournament. Um, this was 2008. This was I see Ryan Hart. There's a guy called Matt and a guy called Devil. They were both from Poland. They came first and second. They were ridiculous. I
mm,
was just seeing certain things with Marduk and Steve, and I was just like, bruh, this is next level Tekken. Like, this is man doing combos, setups, like things I've not even heard of. And like back in the day, there was no YouTube or anything like that. Like, there wasn't anything to kind of like, there was no guides or tutorials where people can be like, look, oh, you can do this. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everything now is so easily accessible. That's why there's more players now, and the player
yeah,
base is a lot more higher.
yeah.
So that was my first tournament. I can't remember. I think I got to like I can't remember. I got bust up. I think I only won one game. Like one game.
I mean, that's
And
not
this is the
surprising, really, is it? Yeah, it's your first
yeah, like
tournament. Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. And it was the first tournament where I did not even. This is like you just think, oh, let me see what this is about. Found out what it was about, and then from then on, I just kept on going tournaments, kept on going tournaments. I didn't see a quarterfinals until like probably mid or I'd say near the end of the lifespan of Tekken 6. Like I
yeah,
was getting my head bust because I just there was nothing to learn to watch. You know what I mean? There's no tutorials. There's none of these things.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's hard to kind of like understand what is going on. Why am I losing this and other? So I started asking players like, okay, when I lose, then we do casuals. Why am I losing? What's going on? Oh yeah, you're doing this, that. I'm like, okay, cool. Sometimes when they're telling me about combos and steps, I just don't understand. I didn't know about number notations for like Tekken and stuff like that. Like I
mm,
found that all in that T6, and that's how I just improved it. And now, like I can play pretty much the whole roster. Like you know what I mean? It's just changed compared to how it was back in the day. I could only play like 2 characters, 3 characters. Now I can play the whole
yeah.
roster.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that because, sorry, just it's interesting you talk about like not knowing, like fighting games being much more accessible now, like with all the tutorials and stuff like that. And obviously, I'd asked you like if you had your own KingJae coming up, um, like if I'm not mistaken, you started making content like around during the lifespan of Tag 2, yeah. When I
That's what
had
I'm known for.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I had Ilman son of so he I think he talked about like he also talked about like starting to do that around Tag 2, and obviously you helped him and others in your community get into that whole creation space, um, and others in our community and other communities like our community. So is content creation something you came across as you continued your journey as a player, or had you always considered coming up as a content creator?
I always wanted to. The main thing that I wanted to do is I always wanted to get more people involved. It wasn't even for like the international. It was more people for like just the UK. So
Mm,
that's why I used to do videos, call out videos, all of this stuff. This stuff was just stuff I saw growing up. Like I never really had like a oh yeah, I want to be a big content creator or anything like that. I
yeah.
still don't consider myself big. I just consider myself as a decent size.
Mm,
Like, I would say my whole plan was to yeah. So at the start, my whole plan was to get more people out for the UK scene because there wasn't that much people competing in the UK scene. Now there's a loads.
yeah.
Now it's like internationally, I want everyone to know like yeah, this is Tekken. If you want to learn, there's some guides. You want to learn if you were casual, basic to pro. If you want to learn the actual nitty gritty, teach me. Then another few stuff that's coming out later on, but can't really say. But there is some other
Okay, okay. Like
serious
so,
stuff.
yeah, some
Yeah,
some some stuff cooking
some
in the kitchen. Okay.
some
Yeah,
stuff cooking in the kitchen. So yeah, like, and even with like the teach me. The reason why I made it international, I started getting players like yourself, Mikey, SS, and all of those stuff, is because I wanted it to be a thing of Arsenal was on Cuddle Core, Pork Chop, all these. There's so many people. The reason why it was so diverse is because I honestly felt like there has never been anything like that where it's got all of the communities teaching the game. Now that I've done it, I'm happy that I've been the first to do it now because it took a lot of work. A lot of people don't understand that, actually scheduling to get this stuff on and get people on and, timing and stuff like that. I'm just about to have a kid. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm scheduling all of this stuff, making sure my missus is okay, making sure everything else is okay at home. Like, people don't understand, like, it was really taxing.
yeah.
It's really hard. And I got it done. And I'm just like, yo, like, if there's anything that I'm happy about is it's that. And to know that there's so many other scenes like that being watched now because of it, done my work, you
Mm,
know?
yeah,
Done my work.
absolutely. Yeah. Um,
So
yeah, and like it's obviously content create. There's a question I have late for you later on that sort of ties into this, but like it's like content creators are important in the scene because like again they help more people get into fighting games and like give it a good light. I think part of the stigma is that fighting games are really hard and stuff like that, and like when there's so much content around that helps to teach people how to play the game. um, and now when we have like people like myself and others sort of coming up from these unknown communities, sort of showcasing our communities and stuff like that, like it's really good, you know what I'm saying. um,
100%.
so when I had Real Menace on, he said to me that he's really happy with how the UK Tekken scene has progressed since the release of Tekken 7, and part of the reason that progress has been made is the Tekken World Tour, obviously. Like, um, it gives people much more of a reason to go out and compete and get better and get better. He was
100%.
talking about like Tag 2 days when there'd only be like three maybe four UK players that like would do damage like on an international level, and now you have so many top players: Chicken Maru, Kane and Trench, Kwis, Asim, all these guys that are
Yep.
that compete at a really high level from the UK.
Yeah.
So on the point of um, the UK Tekken scene growing because of the Tekken World Tour. Would you agree with that assessment, or would you say that content creators in the UK, like yourself, like Arsenal, Tendo, all these guys, are partly to thank for that growth?
I think it's both. I can't say that it's just second on content creators. I think content creators bring in the people that want to know. Like I have a lot of people that come in that say thank you for the guides, thank you for the guides, thank you for the guides. These people are not people that compete for Tekken. Do you
Mm,
know what I mean? These are people that just casually want to play. There's some people that do want to get into it and do want to learn and do want to understand. It's there for them as well. But then you got the Tekken World Tour that showcase. Like there's a lot of new players that I didn't know from the Tekken World Tour. So I think it goes hand in hand, and I'm grateful because Tekken Tag 2 we never had no world tour or we never had none of those things. It was everyone building their own tournaments. So
yeah,
now we've actually got Tekken World Tour that's integrated to other things. So yeah, it's good, man.
Um, yeah,
Really,
and
really good.
again back to the the point of content creators. Like there's a lot of people focus on that side of like people making tutorials and stuff like that. And then I mentioned Arsenal Titan, OXI. I think there's a few others like Masood. These guys that make like sort of these funny like type of like Tekken videos. I think such
Yeah,
content creators help as well to like make the game more appealing and want make people want to play it. As much as obviously you don't want to learn how to play the game like with tutorials and stuff. I think that side of content creation in terms of the or in terms of the community helps quite a bit as well. Um, so it's quite interesting.
yeah,
That there's all this variety, if that makes sense. Um, so since TWT began in 2017, I know it didn't begin. I know before that it was called like the King of Iron Fist like tournament or whatever, but been known as the Tekken World Tour 2017. So we've seen top players emerge from like lesser known communities and do very well in various tournaments. Obviously, the most popular example of that is Asla Nash and many others from the Pakistani community. But there's also Abel Del Maestro and some of his Peruvian counterparts that have sort of
yeah,
revealed themselves to be, and of course, Raycon from the Ivory Coast, finishing the top 32 at Evo last year. And now, because of him, now we're seeing like a bit more shift to like some talented African players, Skywalker, Mr. Batch, Shaoling, Momola N, Mickey, Frost, DVK, Extra, Nindo, Combo, Big Daddy, Mike the Hunter, Yondaime, Manunu. I could go on and on and on. Like there's so much, there's so much talent on this continent. So as someone who's managed to go to some of these events over the years, like on the Tekken World Tour, how exciting has it been for you to see these emerging talents like do their thing and even meet some of them? I assume you've met, for example, with the Pakistani guys. Like how has it been for you to discover some of these players?
it's been pretty good, man. Like, I feel like when it comes to like discovering players and just seeing their talent, it's always good to see how they play Tekken. Not everyone plays Tekken in the same way. They got different styles,
Yeah,
so it's good to see everyone play Tekken in their own way. So yeah, I'm like I said, even like finding I found you lot, and it wasn't through Tekken One Tour,
mm,
but I can't even. I just remember seeing a video, and it was like, bro, what's going on over here? And that's why I started watching more and more and more. So yeah, man, it's been a great experience. It's been a great experience seeing like new players. Like I feel like Tekken World Tour definitely showed stuff, but then I also feel like content showed stuff as well.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Content played a big part in showing stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. Like Mikey, I think I heard of from last year December. I've heard of last year December.
mm.
I think it was a finals that you two had. I was looking for Ganryu players, and when I saw that, I was like, huh? And I looked,
Oh, I think that was
and I was like,
Mickey
oh,
and Frost. It was Ganryu versus Leroy.
oh,
Yeah,
Mickey and Frost. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Mickey and
yeah,
Frost. But
yeah.
I've watched a video of yours as well, so that's why I tied it in together.
Mm,
So I think you was playing someone else back in. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who. I can't remember who, but yeah, like that's how I found out you lost content.
yeah.
So yeah,
So obviously you mentioned obviously finding out about us, and a few other like lesser known communities. You as a content creator have made um, sort of a conscious effort to highlight some of these unknown talents and share them with the rest of the community.
yeah,
So especially seeing as top like competition series like the Tekken All Tour, the CPT, that which is the Capcom Pro Tour, hardly ever feature like for example African events in their calendars. Although TWT started doing that last year with Cape Town Showdown, and they were gonna have a second one in Ivory Coast this year before Corona, obviously. Um, but seeing as given that sort of underrepresentation, how important is it for you to push for these unknown communities to be represented on a global level? Is it that deep for you, or is it just a matter of like uh, having more variety in terms of just people getting to know like these players in these other communities as well? It's not just EU, North America, Asia.
To be honest, like I said, I feel like my job in the UK is done. Like I don't think they understood or realized what I tried to do, what I've accomplished. What there's other people that have done it as well. So I feel like my role in trying to get the UK scene to be bigger is done. There's probably other people that participated and helped as well, but back for me, it's done because there's so many people that's there.
Yeah,
Now it's time for international. And it's like, I want people to know about the other scenes because there's people that come up to me and say thank you, I didn't know about this scene over in their own country. So it's good to know, like, it's good to know that people don't know about the scene, and then they eventually start coming out. For me, I think it's pretty deep for people to understand their scenes because that's how the game gets bigger. I don't do this for Bandai Namco or anyone else. I just do this because I enjoy the game. I have a passion for the game, and I know there's a lot of other people that have a passion for the game that don't know their community, so or they don't
yeah,
know how to get better or the next step of the game. And usually, when you don't know your next step or how to get better at a game, the next thing you do is you drop a game and play the next one. It's the same cycle that happens over and over and over again.
yeah,
So instead of people drop the game and then go into the next one, I say, hey, look, here's some stuff that you can learn that will make you better. There's like over 1,000 videos on my channel, so people can watch whatever. Me playing in ranked match, me teaching you how to do this with a character, teach me episodes that are with other talented players.
yeah,
There's so much things that you can look on if you want to get better at the game. So why not just go ahead and look and find out stuff and learn stuff? You know what I mean?
yeah. And I like what you've done with the Teach Me series, especially because you mentioned to me privately that like you were, well, not privately. I think you replied someone's comment on one of your videos that like I think it was the Teach Me I did for Miguel, where someone was asking like, I'm surprised you didn't do this, like, and they were like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, obviously everyone knows who Sefi Black is. He's a very good Miguel player, but I wanted to sort of uh,
Mm-hmm.
insight from people from other communities as well. So like, I really like sort of about
Yeah.
sort of showing videos from other communities, but like sort of integrating them into your content as well. So that's been really
It's all about bridging the gap.
yeah,
Like I done Sephi Black later on. Like Sephi Black was like additional content. Like, but the reason why I didn't do Sephi Black straight away is because at the end of the day, oh, who should you pick Sephi Black? Oh, who should like even like the Kazuya and Kazuya and Heihachi I done fake pot on Harry Potter from Italy.
mm,
Like everyone said, oh, why didn't you do the main man? Because at the end of the day, it's not about like who you lot want. It's about bridging the gap. You get some of the people that like Arsanash. He done what he needed to do. Cuddlecore done what he needed to do. Joey Fury done what he needed done. They all done what they needed to do. Then you have to kind of mix in some other people. Like mix in people that you not heard of. So then it's like, all right, well, yeah, this guy is talking about this. Oh, he's done this. So let me see what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah.
Um, all right, so I'm gonna ask you now. I think we've learned quite a lot about you as like a player, as a content creator. Like I'm gonna ask you about a topic that I found really interesting, like in recent weeks, months. Like I've noticed there's been this trend on social media, like on Twitter, of like top personalities in the Tekken community, top players and content creators, like putting up tier lists.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and like I think over the last maybe month and a half, like they just blown up. Every time I open Twitter, someone's put up a tier list and whatever. And I think
Yeah.
um, it's helped. I think it's kind of helped to highlight like an unsavory section of the community that we already knew existed from like Twitch streams and stuff like that. Like like I'm gonna sort of give my detailed take on this. Like I want to ask you about it first, but like people just like giving like very negative responses, sometimes personal attacks, rather than just like constructively debating a tier list. So like what or like what's been like your whole take on this trend, and what do you make of the concept of tier lists in general? Because I've seen some people on Twitter, like I think Spark the other day was like co-tweeted like a really bad tweet, and it was like, I can't believe like people care this much about like tier lists. So like, what's how have you found like the whole thing personally? Like, what's it been like for you?
Tier list is one thing I'll like to make clear is tier list opinions about characters is personal opinion.
Yeah.
Not everyone is gonna have the same outlook. Like I've had someone say something bad about me about I think done a video on Akuma talking bad about me, and I see a lot of people like, "Oh, have you watched it?" And I was like, "No," because I just don't care. Because
Mm.
at the end of the day, if you're talking about it respectfully and you're talking bad about me, that's fine. But if you're doing it in a way of like it looks like you're trying to get clout or you're trying to, there's other big content creators there and you're just cussing everyone. It's
Yeah.
chaos. It's not constructive to me. And to be honest with you, I generally just don't have time. That when it comes to doing tier list is completely optional. You might say, I don't know, like you might say Eliza is top tier,
Yeah.
S plus, and then I can say to you, all right, cool. Why do you think that? Then it's a discussion. That tier list is all about building discussion and personal opinions, and I feel like it's good. It's good to hear why you think this and what your personal opinion is. I think Leo's better than what I thought Leo is now by playing Yuki and other people, and it's like, all right, well, I personally think Leo's better now, and it's just like it's. I feel like anyone could do a tier list and it will build up. If someone put it just don't. If people are gonna do stuff where it's a trolley like Marduk is the highest, you're gonna be like, oh, shut up. But if
Yeah.
it's like something where it's like the lot that's up there, Fakuruma Kuma, Paul Phoenix, Julia, all of these people are at the top, and then someone else randomly is there, like I don't know, Gigas, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, what? Like, and that's how it builds discussion. So I think it's healthy to have a tier list. I think everyone needs to stop being so sensitive about it. It just let people have their own opinions. It's good. It builds healthy discussions. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Like it's kind of the same for me because like I'm obviously not against the principle of making tier lists because I mean as you say like if you're making like if you're doing it right that means like you're thinking critically about which each character can do, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's subjective. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own approach to the game. But like if you're doing it right, it helps you get better, develop your understanding of the game because you're thinking critically about like again what each character can do, what their weaknesses are, and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
like and even us as Tekken 254, like on our Twitter, we've put up some tier lists before, and some of the responses we get are like I read them and I'm just like, bro, like is
It's
it
just a
like is
game.
it really that deep? Like like is
Yeah.
like because I think most of the flack we've gotten, especially is like obviously a lot of people think Lars, for example, is like low tier, like one of the worst characters in the game, arguably. But in this community, apart from like maybe two, three, four people, everyone in this community thinks Lars is at least mid tier. And so like
Mm.
when we put those opinions out, when we've put up those opinions out, like some of the response we've gotten is like yo, this is the worst tier list ever, blah 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 blah. You guys don't know it. And it's like, bro, it's not that deep. Like it's every tier list is subjective. Even if like I can understand like if Nee put up a tier list and like someone who picked up the game last week put up a tier list, you take Nee's one more seriously because
Of course.
yeah,
Of
because like
course.
he has much more experience with the game, is much better at the game. But at the end of the day, it's still subjective. It's still his own opinion. It's still his own experience with the game. Like at this age, there's this Japanese woman who does combo videos. I forget her name. Uh, Aika Minamoto. Yes. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if you've heard of her before. Um, so,
No.
uh,
It
she's
might be. I might. Yeah. I don't know.
I think she just like does combo videos on YouTube. She's a combo artist. Like
Okay. Okay.
there's a tier list we had put up a while back, and then she quote tweeted it, and she was like, "I agree with most of the placements in this tier list," and then like she got so much hate from her followers, like none of it was constructive debate, like asking like why do you think this character is here, da, da, da. Like these people are just like attacking her and attacking the tier list, like to a point where she had to take the tweet down. And I saw that and I was like, bro,
You don't
like
have. You don't have to
yeah,
do that. You
is
don't have
it
to
is
do that.
it like it's really not that deep, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Like I
like
made the Tekken 7 season 2 tier list. and my dislikes and likes matched, I still don't care. I just don't
Yeah,
care.
like
Like if that's what you feel and that's how you feel, and you feel like you actually have time to go on it. You know, I don't use the dislike button. If I don't like a video, I just click off.
yeah.
But if you have time to actually sit there and watch a video and think, no, I am going to press this dislike button, boy, that's on you then, man. This is whatever.
Yeah, man, it's like it's to me it's just like mind blowing to me that like I don't know, some people take it personally. It's like we say Lars is missing, like "Grr, no, Lars is low tier, worst character in the game, hashtag buff Lars. Da, da, da." It's like nah, like
Mm,
obviously you're allowed to disagree and like you're allowed to have your own opinion, but like ask me why I think Lars is mid tier. Like why, what makes him mid tier? It's like that's where that, as you say, that constructive like discussion comes from. That's what tier list is supposed to be
mm.
about anyway, in my opinion.
I actually agree. I actually don't think Lars is all that bad. I think Lars has good punishment. I think he has good while standing punishment. I don't think Lars is that bad, but I think everyone else is like, oh, like the only thing that makes him really bad, I'll be honest, is his rage drive. His rage drive is quite trash.
Mm.
That's one thing I think. I just feel like, and compared to like other characters, Leroy, Fakram, I don't know, King, whoever, there's better other characters that have way better rage drive. You have to go into stance to do Lars' rage drive. Why? Like it should just be an input. Like all right, boom, bam, like something that just I don't know if he had something like that, bruh,
I also think
Lars would.
I also think like his lows in general aren't all that threatening. Obviously, they made his health sweep string +3 in season 3, but like
Yeah,
the most you can do with the Lars after that is the back one, the homing move, just to keep to keep the opponent
just
honest.
yeah.
But if you do that, you risk catching a magic 4. So you have to switch between that and jabbing. So like there's still not much you can do afterwards. So like I think that and maybe his rage drive, but like for example, like people talk about like his down forward 2 being useless, and I'm like that move crushes so much. Like it to me, it's not a bad thing that you have to commit to the full string, like to get any reward out of it. The amount of moves that move crushes is absolutely ridiculous. His down back 4 crushes highs, like it's a pretty good low. If maybe if it's like pretty bad that it's launch punishable. His orbital, people talk about it being linear, but like the range it has, the fact that it launches a normal hit, it's a safe mid. If a move like that had good tracking, it would be broken, quite frankly. Like,
100%,
so, like,
100%.
yeah, like, like, obviously, in my opinion, and apparently in yours as well, like, Lars really isn't, like, that bad. But, like, when you put out an opinion like that, it's like, grr, no, like, Lars is bad. Da, da, da. So, like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not, it's like, I don't know. People just want to get like triggered and rather than have a
yeah, man.
constructive, debate. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird to
Exactly.
me, but yeah. Um,
I think you just gotta let them do their thing. I couldn't care less. When I'm doing tier list, if you dislike it or if you don't like what I'm saying, then that's fine. I mean, the life goes on, isn't it? Right?
yeah,
Like if someone says I don't like you, okay,
yeah. It is what
move
it
on.
is. Yeah, nothing I can do about
Like,
that. Like,
what
yeah,
else can you do? You're
yeah,
going to have these opinions anyways. The
yeah.
best thing we can do with it is all right. Let's talk about it. All right, you saying you don't like this? Why? Why don't you like? Why? If you feel like my opinions are wrong, why? Why is that? I had this debate about Eliza, and I was saying Eliza is top tier. Everyone was like, "Jay, you're crazy." I said, all right, cool. Like, if you lot don't want to believe me, that's fine. Arsenal starts winning. This person starts winning. Suken won a tournament the other, and I'm like, yo, like, are you not gonna start agreeing? Are you not gonna believe me? Like, I'm telling you. Oh, but Chanel used Eliza, and
I,
Chanel's Eliza. I said, yeah, Chanel plays perfect Tekken. You can't play perfect Tekken with these characters. I lost to a Geese the other day, and the Geese doesn't even play
like,
Tekken like
yeah,
that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But it would work when you play these characters like that, and that then you don't play Tekken. They are a lot more scary, and I've been trying to explain
Because they
this
have
a
all these
lot.
tools that like break the rules of Tekken, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah, you could jump over like you get hit with a low, and then they try to do jab to keep them honest. They'll jump over your jab and then do a kick, and then they're plus whatever and do a combo.
yeah.
And this is what. people not understanding Eliza's punishment. If we're talking about, if we're having the same old original argument about, you know, yeah, this character does this character does that. We can do this. We could, like, if we have this same argument with Eliza, Akuma, and Geese, it's not gonna make sense because they're different characters. They have different tools. You know, their jump overs are different. You know, it's just come on, man. Everyone's gonna have their own opinion. You can't be upset.
Yeah,
That's all I can say on that
and on
subject.
Eliza again, like personally, I still don't think she's that strong. Then again, I don't know too much about the character, but that's where
Yeah,
again the constructive discussion. Personally, like when I when I'm discussing a tier list, I like to like actually go in the game and like test stuff out as I'm talking about it, just to understand it a bit better. But like
yeah,
that's the angle that you have to approach it with. Like again, yeah, I think maybe I need to spend a bit more time with Eliza. Like those new Moonglide mix-ups for me, like you can option select pretty much all the options by doing sidestep right duck. Um,
but you can delay the moon glide. That's what I'm trying to
yeah,
say. So like,
yeah,
you it's a, when this is one thing that I explain to people all the time. So like, when I play Geese, not Geese, when I play Ganryu, I'm starting to still understand matchups and stuff like that. Everyone's done the video. Oh, you can sidestep right duck. But if I delay the stance and I do the move and I delay it by 1 or 2 seconds, it will track you. Like try it. Like do the slide, do the the forward 1+2, which is the big headbutt. Or if I just chill and do one, I could just like these things will track you. Like it's only if the person's being crazy and they're like 2-1 starts, bam. It's like okay, you slice it right up. But I can delay, and that's why I try to tell people it's not what you think it is, because I can delay. And then sometimes if I feel like you're gonna decisive right duck, I'll just do 1+2, because 1+2 is
mm,
mid, it will just catch you.
yeah.
So
See
that's
that
what I'm
now
saying.
that's something I'm gonna have to check in the lab now because like I hadn't really considered that before. Like sort of
Mm-hmm,
delaying those moves like when she goes into Moonglide.
mm-hmm. You got to like delay that. Obviously you could do down screen to fireball because fireball safe for God knows what reason. You could just go up to the person, do down free, fireball is safe. The fireball will stay lingering around. If you move or press a button, you'll get
It
hit.
hits, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right, and that's it. Those things are the stuff that just annoy people. Like you can't punish this the fireball one. Not at all. It's safe. Why is it safe? Maybe because the fireball don't move anywhere, but at the same time, it's like that's that you
yeah,
get chipped from projectiles.
yeah, yeah,
So I could just do down three projectiles safe. You get chipped a bit of damage, like I think 1% or whatever. But why are you getting chipped for just sitting there? This is not Street Fighter.
yeah,
What's
yeah, yeah.
going on? So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it's
and
crazy.
and obviously he minor repped the Eliza as well at the at that tournament. You finished in the top 8 in the other day. Did he finish second or something like that? I think he played grand finals
No,
with Eddie. Was it?
actually, I don't know who. Like, that's actually
Cause
a
I
good
cause I
answer.
remember cause I remember seeing E minor go pretty far, and I was like, oh my god, here we go. Like these Eliza, top,
Oh yeah, he got him second. Yeah, see, I didn't even realize. See,
yeah,
so he came second. Pika, the guy that beat me, he played third. He played Geese.
yeah.
To be fair, I don't really like playing Geese anymore. I don't really like. I feel like playing Geese for me is it's quite boring.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Everyone's like, why don't you play Geese? I'm like, nah. I like Leroy. Leroy is not boring for me. I like just the parries when you're parrying through strings now. Like I know people are like, oh, the parries brain dead, but if you are playing against like someone like, for example, when I do the random lobbies, these people that I'm playing against, they play at a high level and they've counteracted things that beat parries. Like for example, if I do back two parry and then I immediately press the thing to react to it, the punches afterwards. If you're Leo and you do 1-4, the 4 counter hits me. So
Mad.
these are things to counteract what I'm doing with the parry. It's exactly with Nina as well. If you do strings with Nina, you try to counteract with the punches, it won't work. Like you get beaten out of it. So you have to use the parry. I have to now use the parry at a higher level now, like higher than what I was before. Sometimes you think, oh, parry, no, you
Yeah.
can't do that now. You have to know when they're gonna stop and the right timing now, and that's why I like the character. Whereas Geese is, I feel like Geese's game plan is all around. jabs, down forward one, side step three, side you could do forward four sometimes. You can sometimes let off down forward 1-4 if you think they're gonna press a button.
Mm.
It's just boring. There's nothing to it, and then you get bar, parry, take you outside, full damage. I've played him enough to kind of just be like, like I want to exercise my brain a little bit, and I think Leroy does that. Leroy, even though he's strong, I'm not gonna say he's not strong. I can run up to you orbital down 3-2. I can do down back 1-3. Sometimes I do down back 1-3 to catch people. I kind of use it as a whiff punisher sometimes as well. 4-4-2 is what I use it with punisher as well. But sometimes I do use down back 1-4, which is the punch and the high kick, because sometimes people will mash afterwards, and I do back 1+2. Sometimes I do it on when they're blocking. Sometimes
Yeah.
people don't duck, and then if they're blocked, the down back 1-4. I'm like, all right, back 1+2. Because if you mash, I'm gonna get a counter hit.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I'm safe anyways. So is what it is. So yeah, I've just been learning to play Leroy, and I've been doing alright. I feel like I need to play more 2Ds though. I haven't really. That's why I lost the guy Pika. I
Pika,
think
yeah.
if I had more experience, because it was 1-1, and I think it was final round. If I had more experience, even with the thing he done, so like Geese can do down 3-1, forward one, but if he does the
Yeah.
one way he swings his arm, parry. But I wasn't thinking that, and I kind of was like, at the end I was like, why didn't I do that? Because I'm not trained. My brain is not trained to do it. And then that's why I'm like, yo, that maybe I just need to play some Geese with Leroy and then see what happens from there. So
It's
yeah,
funny.
man,
It's funny you talk about like that sort of jab down forward one side step three sort of play style being boring. Like for someone like me who loves playing keeper, like I love that. Like I have no issues sort of like poking the opponent with such moves and then being like, "Ah, you come to me now." And if you like
yeah,
you press anything, you could eat a parry. Like I
mm,
personally I love playing like that. Like just poking and then backing up. It's like okay, now what are you gonna do? Like I have the life lead. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like Geese does that really well. So and of course like his damage in season 3 is stupid. I wonder if that'll get nerfed in season 4. But like yeah, man.
I don't think it will get banned. I think, if I'm honest about Geese, I think the main thing that needs to be nerfed with all of these kind of 2D characters that have combos that stay on the floor is just the scaling. Like just work on the scaling, because I feel like even like when I was playing in the tournament and I saw the damage, I was like flipping, oh, this is actually crazy, like crazy damage. Obviously it requires bar, but again, if we talk about the realness of it, not everyone has bar in Tekken, so you got to be
Yeah.
fair. And yeah, I just think it just needs to be toned down quite a bit. Like, yeah, you get the parry and you get like a mad damage, but like, bro, like it doesn't need to be so much damage. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I
All
think
right,
that's
man.
it, really.
Just moving on. So obviously we're all still waiting for the release of season 4, and the delay is understandable because of like everyone's had challenges with this like whole COVID-19 pandemic. Um,
Yeah, that's
so
delaying everyone, man.
yeah. So as a fan, what are some of the improvements you'd hope to see in the game besides obviously the improved netcode? I think that's like a universe. I think everyone who plays Tekken agrees like this netcode needs to get better. But like besides that, what are some of the things like you'd hope to see like in season 4? And I guess I can ask like, are there any characters you're looking forward to seeing in the game,
Mm.
legacy or otherwise?
Yeah. Um. All right. There's a couple of things I'll throw. I think we're gonna get new characters. I think Jun. I feel like everyone's leaning towards Kunimitsu, but I feel like it was Roger on top of the tower now. I don't know why. I
Really,
have odd feeling. Yeah, I have an odd feeling that
Roger
it's
wearing
Roger.
a scarf like at the top
Yeah,
of that
like
thing.
he's just wearing stuff. Yeah, I
That would
feel
be
like
so
it's mad
funny
with
if that
Roger.
was the case. I'd actually laugh so hard if that was the case.
That's what I'm saying. I feel
Yeah,
like everyone's leaning towards Jun, Kunimitsu, and Kiryu from Yakuza. That's the three that
yeah,
everyone's saying. But I do feel like on top it could be Roger in it. Like, I know they were talking about that whole animal rights thing, but we have Kuma and Panda, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. And I would like to see Roger in, because Roger is like, that character is quite funny and he's unique as well. Like just the down to
yeah,
and
yeah,
like he's a unique character. No
yeah.
one really. I mean, no one really. No one really. Everyone says Kunimitsu. Oh my gosh, da 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 da. But what happened in Tag Two? There was hardly any Kunimitsus. So do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's my thoughts for the new stuff. They have this new system called ProRes or some ProRes. I don't know what it was.
Prowess, yeah, prowess,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know what that is. That's going to be interesting to look out for. Every
yeah,
character gets a new move. The only scary thing about every character getting a new move is what new move is Geese gonna have? What new move is Akuma gonna
yeah.
have? Fat Crab, Leroy.
They gave
You know,
Paul
all these
another
characters.
shoulder. Like I saw that and I was like, bro, why? Why
That's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
another
I don't
shoulder
know why.
that like guarantees a death
Power Crush,
fist? Yeah,
and it's Power
and it's
Crush.
a power crush. Like why? Why?
Like he needed that. Like he really needed
Yeah,
that.
it's mad.
So I just want to see.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just want to see what all these top tier characters are gonna have because they're already good, and I feel like the problem with this game is we keep they not even we keep Bandai Namco keep adding stuff to the game. So what happens is you're gonna keep on bloating the game, bloating the game, bloating the game, and it's like there's gonna be problems that are gonna soon be unfixable because you keep adding things to the game. I think the main focus is just looking at the game and thinking, all right, cool. We have these characters that are completely, unbalanced. Well, if people want to say they're broken or whatever, they're really strong. And then we have these characters at the bottom end of the spectrum that they're not really doing anything. What can we do with these characters? I feel like Bandai Namco, if they really want to do better when it comes to this game, is I feel like there needs to be more transparency with what's going on. So like all right, get some pro players to try out or even just release a beta saying, look, this is season 4 beta. You guys try it for 2 days.
Yeah,
You at least that way you stress test the online. You give good feedback on the stuff that's there. Then you can say, all right, cool. So yeah, you know what? You've heard what you're saying. This is the final patch. Bam. Then you can say, raw. It's better that way. Because releasing Bakram with like a crazy backdash and all these things, and he's a big character, it doesn't make any sense to me
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
not, it's unheard of. Those big characters shouldn't have good backdash because he can always keep you up because he has free. Free is a 13 frame mid. He has extensions from free. Why is this even a thing? You know, like you remove the sidestep. That's cool. He doesn't need to sidestep. He can play like a 2D. So he doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna sidestep. No, because he enforces pressure.
yeah.
You know, he has 5 or 6 extensions from downfall one. He has 3 or 4 extensions from free. Bro, all of these lows do damage. Yes, it puts in minus, and yes, it does. It puts in minus, and yes, if you block it, then you get mad damage for it. But what is the chance of you blocking that low? There we go. That's why character doesn't make any sense. It just seems like, all right, well, what's the reason? And it would save them from having this problem again. I really don't want them to have this problem because, again, I love the game and I know everyone
Yeah,
else
of
must
course,
love.
of course. I don't think anyone who really loves the game wants like the developers to fail. You know what I mean? Like they want the game to do well, but like obviously, I think with all the additional stuff they've added to the game, as you say, like sort of like bloating it to a certain degree, it makes it harder to balance, and it's like there's just so
Mm-hmm.
many things you have to manage. You know what I mean?
100%. And that's where I'm at with the game. I'm just like, yo, like I love the game and that, but I know people are gonna hate me for playing Leroy, but the fact of the matter is, this is where the game is at. I can't play someone like this. I can't even Ganryu to an extent. Ganryu is somewhere near. I would say Ganryu isn't top 10. He's not. I think he might be even top 25, maybe top
Really?
20.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know what? I've been playing matchups, and I'm a Ganryu specialist. Like I've played the character for a solid decade, like solid. Paired him up with Bob, but my Ganryu was always the strongest. And when I look at like his frames, like Ganryu, I'm learning like certain things with Ganryu. Like for example, down one. I think down one is +5. I need to put him in the lab properly and see stuff. But he's down one is +5. It might be forward 4-3. One, I think both of them are +5. But you do these moves to enforce your pressure. So once you've done that, you could do down forward 3 or down forward 1, down forward 1-4. This
Yeah.
is your pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Obviously,
mix
you can
up
catch
up
me.
close, yeah.
Right. So, but I have to be up close. What happens if you're 2D and you keep me out? You know, what happens if, for example, you're a character like Miguel that can just down forward one, and then, down forward 4-1, down forward 4-1, mid. Because I might say parry, and then boom, you've mixed me up now. Then I have to think about my game plan again. So these type of character, like the way how Ganryu is in this game, he's good. He does damage, yes, but I have to get to that damage. I have to do things. Yes, he has a mix up of down forward three or down forward two. Down forward two is at -11. I get that. It
That
will
move
never
is mad,
change.
yeah.
Yeah, it will never change. But at the same time, it's just the case of you can rush Ganryu down. Ganryu can be rushed down. Don't stay standing all the time doing moves because you might throw out a headbutt. There's always that worry and stuff. Okay, cool. Then do moves that are crushing highs.
Mm.
Jab, down forward one, stay up and close in their face. Maybe mix up a throw. Maybe I just don't think, and he's rage drive as well. Like, man, I don't know. He flashes blue and he makes a sound. It kind of gives it away some of the times, man. I'm not gonna lie. Some people say you can't react, but I've seen when it goes and then you see the blue. It's like you're like, I can block that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. His stance stuff is not that great either. Like he needs something that's like a mid, like I feel like a mid homing move, but he's unsafe would be good. Because then that will make him scary. Like Gary's in stance now, right? He's got a mid move
You
that's
can't step, you
boom,
can't, you have to block, you have to eat the mix up.
exactly, and then
Mm.
that will make it scary. But will they add a move like that? I don't think so. It's just again, I don't know the direction of where they're going with all of these characters. They're added in so many characters, 49 characters. We're gonna have another couple characters in.
Yeah, probably gonna hit like
They
50, 55 or 60 by the time Tekken 8 comes out, yeah.
exactly, and it's like you've added all this additional content. We appreciate it, but who's gonna do all of this the scaling? Because you're doing all these things. You're doing balance, player character balance, all of this stuff. But who is gonna you can do something with Lars, but then you might mess up a matchup with someone else now because Lars has got
Yeah,
X, Y, and Z.
yeah.
Well, this is the problem, and I don't want to keep having to learn Tekken again. That's another problem because it's like I'm learning this. Oh, like I'll play a match now, and I'm really like, yeah, that's minus. Oh no, 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 it's not. It's changed. It's like
Yeah,
I keep learning.
it's practically a new game every season, isn't it? Like
Exactly, and
per,
it's
per,
just hard.
personally, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It kind of keeps the game like um what's the word I
It
want to
keeps the
use?
game fresh. It keeps the
Yeah,
game
fresh.
fresh.
Yeah, yeah. Because like
But
it's
if
not
you're a
the same.
person that
Like it is hard for sure. It is
right,
hard, but like it's
yeah,
at the very least like it doesn't get stale. You know what I mean?
I get you, but then you don't have to change so much. There's not the stuff that they change. When I look at the patch notes, I'm like, yo, they're changing so much. But then it's like, all right, cool, you've changed these things, but what about the person that's casual? The guy that just doesn't go compete much. He wants to come back for maybe like a good couple months or maybe even a year or two. He comes back and he's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to punish this. Oh, and now this is. Then he has the whole patch notes. It's like, man, it doesn't have to be that much changes. Like they change a lot, and it's like it's not really needed, man.
All right, man. It was interesting that you were talking about Ganryu and how good he is because it ties into my final question for you. Something I ask
Okay.
all the guests I get on this sort of like this series. Tekken
Yeah.
7 top 5. You say Ganryu is for you even top 25. Who then would you put in top 5?
Who would I put in top five? Good
Yeah.
question. So my top five would be Fakaram, Akuma,
Hmm.
Geese. This is in no order, by the way.
Okay.
Actually, I wouldn't even. I put Geese outside. I think Geese has mad damage, but Fakaram, Akuma, Eliza,
Okay.
Julia. I want to say Geese or Leroy for five.
Mm.
Because I think Leroy is really good as well. I think
Yeah, it's
Leroy.
still really
I
good
don't.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think Leroy has any bad matchups at all. Like I don't think he has any bad matchups. It's weird because I feel like it's hard to even because some people will be like, right, maybe Eliza shouldn't be top five. Actually, hold on, Vakram,
You said
Akuma,
Fakumra, Makuma, Julia, and then Geese or
Julia,
Leroy. So you want to take
Geese.
out Eliza,
Yeah, I'll take out Eliza. I'll take out Eliza. Vakram, Julia, Geese,
Akuma,
Akuma,
Leroy.
Leroy. Yeah,
Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay.
yeah, that's my list.
All right, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking the time to come to this stream and have a chat with me and sort of tell us a bit more about yourself. I know the stream has had issues from time to time, but it is what it is. We've been rolling with the punches. So yeah, man. That's gonna be it. As I said on Friday, sorry, on Sunday, no, not Friday. Savanna Fight Night to go on a break, so we'll be back in October. There won't be too much activity on this stream for maybe the next month. So yeah, there's a bunch of other content creators you can check out in the meantime. KingJae, obviously. Mickey is gonna be doing his little tournaments from time to time, so you can check those out. But yeah, thanks again, KingJae. Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the night. And we'll see you next time. Peace.